Shall we continue with our adventures with Ruby Rose's book Entombed in White? Danse Macabre. A quote from Les Miserables by Victor Hugo, where the telescope ends, the microscope begins. Which of the two has grander view? Stefan's voice, anguish in the airspace, resounded like an accompaniment to Robin's Gates of Hell. The echo of his screams wounded and disconcerted all other senses as it traveled from one security camera to the other, captured forever. Then the exquisite silence of the absence of breath in a human body was heard, soundless and tranquil. In the 1980s, Stefan, a French scientist, arrived at the University of Colorado in Boulder and found himself standing in front of a door with the Japanese words Danse Yama, meaning Mount Electron, written on a sign. Stefan was a slight man, but personable in appearance, with an ebullient glint to his striking cobalt blue eyes. He was 35 years of age and had just returned from Japan from a self-imposed 2-year sabbatical of learning new disciplines in the study of the invisible world of inner space. As many before him, Stefan had now become a wonderstruck voyager in the minuscule world of microorganisms, and now considered himself well versed with the worlds within worlds, other existences, be it as small as mites that were found all over the world. Stefan was eager to continue his studies with the excellent team of scientists, utilizing one of the world's largest electronic microscopes that uses a 1,000,000-volt beam of electrons versus beams of light, or lenses, with the ability of magnifying 20 million times. It was now even possible to examine live insects and to release them. Every day was an adventure as Stefan viewed the surrealist appearance of the minuscule world, finding the revealed images of three-dimensionality that were produced truly remarkable to the human eye. Exhilarated and totally absorbed in his work at the university, Stefan perpetually transmitted images from the inner space to his brain, which were duly received as an assemblage of aerial photographs pieced together. There were many long days, as when the rest of the team had gone home, Stefan could be found hard at work until the wee hours of the morning. Soon the viewed images filled his mind and began bouncing from every corner surrounding his brain, as though they emitted from 1,000 sources scattered around the room. One late evening, while alone and totally immersed in his studies, Stefan had the eeriest sensation that he was being watched by many eyes, and he could feel the vibrations of the unseen, thus causing the hair on his arms to stand on end. He felt eyes of an invisible world peeling back his skin to observe the underlying musculature before probing deeper into his bones, and their very marrow. There was a sense of penetration all over his body. Something was invading his body space, in and out. Suddenly, Stefan was assaulted by a violent itching, causing him to remove all his clothes in a frenzy and to scratch until his body was left dripping with rivulets of blood. He then started raking his fingernails through the hair on his head, trying to reach his scalp as well as his hair in the groin area, and he began to pull his hair out in handfuls. He then rammed his fingers up his nose and in his ears wherever there was hair cavities, but with no relief to be had. Stefan now hoped he would drown in the depths of insanity soon. He now understood the roles had been reversed, and he was the viewed matter under the microscope and used accordingly. Stefan could visualize all the surrealistic images tumbling about in his head and imagined his brain imploding, and he began to scream, and as he battled the unknown battlefield in the invisible world of inner space. The autopsy recorded half-an-inch long tunnel-type swellings under Stefan's skin over his entire body. They were all filled with eggs at one end and six-legged larvae at the other end. The surface of his body was also covered with the existence of insects. Stefan's body had been truly invaded and fertilized. Removing and studying some of the eggs enclosed in thin tunnels, the credence was that a small Japanese mite known as Japanese Tsutsugamush had invaded itself to Stefan's body before he left Japan. Therefore, it was believed that Stefan died of Japanese river fever, also known as scrub typhus. Meanwhile, oblivious to human eyes, the ambient mites in the airspace behind the door continued their Danse Macabre until the next time.